Well, welcome everyone. Gosh, we are thrilled with the response that we've had. I must admit, like the largest group I've ever addressed at any given time was maybe 150 folks. So this is well outside what I'm used to dealing with. So it's just wonderful that you're here. I think it just shows the passion that you all have for summer programming. We're just honored that you're here. So welcome, 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 welcome. And the web, as we've kind of mentioned, we're stumbling a little bit just with getting acquainted with the technology, but I just wanted to thank the Tennessee State Library and Archives and Kate Smith for allowing us access to their WebEx platform to host this for you all today. I'll be talking more about CSLP and sort of how our organization works, but we're definitely like a volunteer focused organization, and the state of Tennessee generously volunteered their WebEx account, and without that we would not be able to even host you all today. So I mean, just a huge thank you to Tennessee. And just at the top, just so everyone knows, all the sessions are being recorded today. The recordings will be sent out once we have them available. It'll take us a little bit to kind of edit them and put some little thumbnails up and everything like that. But once those are available, those will be posted on the CSLP website. And we've got that kind of sliding banner, which might be how you discovered to register for this in the first place. But just right there on the homepage, there's a scrolling banner with this symposium. We'll leave that up for a couple weeks, and that will provide, following that will take you to the link. We'll also be cutting and pasting a direct link to the chat there, and it will also come back out for, I think Eventbrite sends out kind of like a final thing. So you'll have access to all the slides and all the materials that we're covering today. And then on my slide, I will introduce myself. And sorry, I'm stumbling over my words this morning. It's 8:30 here. My name is Luke Kralik, and I am the executive director of CSLP. I live in Tillamook, Oregon, and we actually have sunshine today, which is really nice. I've been with CSLP for about 5 years now, and it's just been wonderful. It's a wonderful organization. And just a little history for myself. Before that, my previous position was the library director at Clatsop Community College in Astoria, Oregon. If you ever have a chance to be in that corner of the country, I highly recommend. It's just a beautiful area. The whole North Coast is very pretty. And Tillamook, we do have the cheese factory, if that's sort of why that name is familiar to you. So what am I going to be talking about today? Well, I'm going to go over the housekeeping, and I've kind of covered some of that already. I'm going to give you an overview of CSLP. I'm going to talk about like how it is, how it comes together, and more importantly, or like that part's all really important. Like, don't get me wrong, everything I say is super important this morning. But what the real part that I want to convey to you is how you can get involved. That's really, if you don't take anything away from my portion of the talk, it's how you can get involved is the part that I really want you to come away with. And I'm also going to talk about some new things coming down the pipe. We're really excited. Oceans of Possibilities is just a wonderful program. I'm super excited. The artwork is beautiful, and I love the ocean and everything. So I'm excited for this summer. I've got my shirt on right now, so I'm all set. And then I'll be introducing our keynote. So that is the purpose of my portion this morning. So for the housekeeping. So the one thing, just please be respectful and professional in the chat. We're all here. I don't have to worry about this, but I feel obligated to put it on a slide. I know you're all super great people, but let's be real supportive and respectful of everyone in the chat there. The other thing I'd want to mention is live captioning is being provided for this event. It's through Caption Access, so a huge thank you to them. That link should be being pasted in the chat, and I might be the one responsible for that. I hope that's not the case. Please, someone plunk it into the chat if you may. And then also, this is a large group. We'll be having Q&A sessions at the end of each session, but don't put your questions in the chat. Like, something is going to get people excited, and they're going to be going back and forth, and our presenters might miss your comments. So if you do have a question for one of our panelists, please put it in the Q&A and be sure to mark it as yeah, I had a little slide to help illustrate this, but make sure that you pick all co-hosts, and it might say all presenters. It seems like there's been a little bit of a change in nomenclature since I put these slides together. So if it is, either look for all presenters or all co-hosts, and we'll do our best to try to answer your questions. We love questions, of course. That helps strengthen any presentation there. So that's sort of the housekeeping there. I hope we're all house kept or whatever. So what is CSLP? So CSLP is I'll kind of start at the bottom of the slide here, but like we're a nonprofit organization. We fund our organization with membership fees and sales from our catalog. So those are our products and our posters and things like that. And as a nonprofit, all the money we raise goes right into future programming. So it pays sort of our staff and our inventory and the artist fees. But essentially we are a nonprofit with the mission to empower libraries to foster community. We know libraries are, kind of the bedrock of our communities, and we know that one of our kind of marquee events in the public library sphere is summer programming. That really gives us a huge opportunity to engage with children, adults, and teens during the summer months when that's really just sort of our marquee event in a lot of ways. So we use the lens of summer reading to really summer programming to empower our libraries to foster community. So that's really what we are in a nutshell. But like to just kind of summarize it, essentially CSLP is just a group of people trying to make summer programming easier for practitioners and more meaningful to communities. I'm reading that off the slide. I know that's like not great presenter practice, but like that's really all it is. It's just a group of people trying to make summer programming better. And we have our stumbles sometimes, but that's the focus, and that's really the heart of our organization there. So CSLP by the numbers, I think it is a little bit mysterious. Like, your box of materials show up and you place an order and there it goes. But like, we are a very lean volunteer organization, very lean nonprofit. We have 2.5 full-time staff. Myself I'm a full-time member. We have Melissa Hook, who's spoken a little bit earlier there. And we have Alyssa Graybill, who is our part-time managing editor. And she's a brand new hire. So I know we've had several conversations, and I know our programming manual is continuing to get better. It's just going to continue to get better year in, year out. We've got a 10 to 13 person volunteer board. We have 13 volunteer committee chairs, and every year we have over 150. Now, COVID has certainly kind of broken some of our communication channels. We've had upwards of 275 volunteers, but 150 volunteer, just library staff members, just like you all, from around the country come together. So that's all of you. We contract for all the other things, but this is really kind of CSLP's core there. It's just this little nucleus of a small part-time staff, and then just the rest of just volunteer library staff folks from around the country. So I created like my PowerPoint skip, like I created this beautiful graph to really help hammer that home there for everyone. But you can see it's volunteers. Like that's what CSLP is. We're a volunteer organization, membership driven. We're really by librarians, for librarians, and library staff, like through and through. And just a little background, so that so like states can join at CSLP for a set rate, individual libraries can join, and we're really here to make sure that everyone can have a voice and make sure that we're able to accomplish our mission there. These are the numbers slides. So here's the important part. This is what I really want everyone to take away, is how do you join a committee? These are the ways you can participate. The number one way is to join a committee, and we've got several, like I mentioned, we've got about 10 to 13 committees depending on the year, depending on what our focus is. But this is how the work gets done and how the decisions get made at CSLP. We've got different committees for all the different spheres of our activities. So the manuals, those don't come out of nowhere. They're developed by library staff volunteers just like yourself. We have an inclusion committee to help make sure that we're staying on track and serving meeting everyone's needs. We have a vendor committee. So if you're ever interested in the product designs or new products, just this week, the vendor committee kind of met and had a little vote, and we're going to try to we're looking into how to source some paper bags so that libraries have an alternate bagging option. So all these decisions really come from you, the volunteers. So that's super important, and that's really the committees really are the lifeblood of CSLP. Another way you can participate is, as I kind of alluded to, those manuals don't come out of nowhere. All the ideas and resources are generated by library staff. So if you have an idea or a resource, this link is always up on our website, and we're always looking for your amazing ideas to help share with others and enrich their programming. So it's a great way to give to the library community there. Um, Another great way is just, show off yourself a little bit, inspire others. I'm always looking for newsletter articles. Gosh, we've had some beautiful ones this year. There was just last week or last month or so, we had a paper mache whale that was just gorgeous. I love to share that. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful way to help inspire others because, we're all kind of using that shared theme and shared materials there. Another way you can participate is to join our Facebook group. That's a super supportive, people are always kind of asking questions and sharing ideas. It's a great way to kind of get involved, kind of hear what's going on at CSLP. Yeah, it's just wonderful. That's just another way you can participate and help share your voice, help get your ideas out there. And again, like as I can't stress, like I used a red font in all caps. Like this program cannot happen without you all. So it really is your program. So just some of the things real quick to be aware of that are coming down the pipeline. The board, we have a brand new strategic plan for the upcoming year. I mean, it already kind of started, but like we've really kind of distilled what we're trying to do. We've got a guiding principle for all. We're going to, we've got three strong goals there. We're going to focus on collaborating, responding, and leading. And this activity, this workshop this morning is definitely part of that, responding and leading and collaborating. I think it entails all of those. I've got the guiding principle up. I think that's super important. We're really trying to make sure that summer programming is inclusive for all. And we're approaching that in a variety of different ways. I've just got a couple to share with you. This summer we took great steps to make sure that our website is ADA compliant. We're not there yet, but we're much closer. And I also wanted to, we're taking a big lens approach to inclusion for all. So, we've added some additional inclusive sizing on our shirts that we offer. We're expanding we've revamped our summer EL committee, early literacy committee, to help address all the different age groups. We're super thrilled about that. And the other thing to kind of keep an eye out is we're going to be holding listening sessions throughout the year. This year we did 3, and it's just a wonderful way to honor and listen to folks, to people in the field just like yourselves. We get some wonderful feedback there. It's a great way just to get more voices involved. That's really what we're going for there, inclusion for all. We've had some recent changes, and I put recent in quotation marks because they've happened maybe a couple years ago, but I just wanted everyone to know that you can use the artwork and slogans year round. CSLP now owns the artwork. And because of that, we've given you additional permissions, and you can create anything for your library that's on a piece of paper, is sort of the terminology the committee has come up with. But if you do ever have a question about how you can use the artwork or slogans to help, bolster your programming or get more folks in the library door, just send me an email. Send myself an email. I love to hear great ideas, and I love to grant permission and to share those out. One other thing I just wanted to call attention to really quickly is our online manual. We are slowly adding our back catalog of programming so that you can have access to that. As I mentioned, from Build a Better World on, we own the artwork, and we're going to make that available to you. And we're even going way back to make some of those old classic programming materials available for you. So thank you. That's my little just quick CSLP. Again, like I'm just super honored to be here and have an opportunity to talk to you all. My email is luke.kralik@CSLP Reads. I'd love to reach, like I work for you all, so please don't hesitate to reach out with any kind of questions. I'll be at PLA this year, so I hope if you can pop in, I would love to see you and just, shake your hand and put a name to a face. So that would be wonderful. So thank you all. Gosh, it's just